Looking back on 2024 was a season of highs and lows. The highs were clearly the months of April, May, and a little bit of June, where we were contender to win almost every race. And having won Darlington, almost winning the Coke 600, and just a number of second place finishes, including a near miss at Talladega. That was a really great time for us in this season. My goal in 2024 as we started the season was to win multiple races and to go deep into the playoffs. And although we won a race, we didn't win multiple races, and we did not have the playoffs that we wished to have. So a little bit bittersweet to miss those goals.
You want to win, but it's hard to be there, and we've been there plenty of times. So we didn't end in the points how we wanted to, but I feel like the year we've had some pretty strong points.
Yeah, I've known TJ Majors, my spotter, for a long time, and our relationship is unique in that sense. I kind of know what he's thinking, he knows what I'm thinking, and just puts us on a unique wavelength. So, I'm a driver that really likes to hear a lot from his spotter, and TJ Majors has never been accused of being short of words. So it's a great relationship in that regard, that we can both be served with our needs, and I think information is power behind the wheel.
You want to give him good info, and he likes a lot of info, and it's good to have that communication.
Yep, discipline yourself here. If you can't get off the exit light, you can drive up to him, pass him on the bottom. Keep hitting that exit, man. You're going to win this race.
There might only be, a couple other driver-spotter combos where they're really good friends. Best friends are really good friends, and I think it's an advantage when you can make that happen, especially if both are successful and both really good at what they do. I think it's a win-win.
I think one of the challenges of being a driver in the Cup Series and going through 10 plus years experience is continuing to find your motivation. And you can be motivated by a lot of different things. Certainly being really close and just barely missing out on the big trophy is a motivation upon itself. But for me, one of the biggest motivations is having my family at the racetracks, and my son and two daughters, and being in Victory Lane with them. One of the highlights for me of my time at RFK over the last 3 seasons has been our pit crew. One of the best on pit road, having won the 2023 Pit Crew of the Year and being in the running in 2024. When I look at our pit crew, the 6 team, and think about what makes them great, it's a terrific blend of experience, strength, agility, really mental discipline.
When it comes to going fast, there's a lot of risk involved, and I think the jackmen that can do it consistently, week in, week out, without having major issues, I think they're underappreciated, because you got guys going, over the edge every single week as fast as they can do, trying to run 8-second pit stops. There's a lot of split-second decisions you got to make, so I think that's kind of the most overlooked aspect of jacking. I call it more of a rhythm. The first part of the stop is when Brad brings the car in, getting that rhythm of pegging that right side. If you kind of land that nice, that's kind of the kickoff. And then once you can see everyone's in a flow, they're all grooving, by the time we leave the right side of the car, I know if it's going to be an 8-second stop or not. So that's kind of the flow that we see as a jackman. Winning the Most Valuable Pit Crew Award is kind of like our Super Bowl. So, to be a part of that, that's very special for us, because that's as good as you can get as a pit crew. It's the only trophy with your name on it, basically. So to win that's really huge, and to do that, everything was good. And it takes a lot on the driver too. Brad was really good on and off pit road. He stopped great in the box where we could attack him and shave some time. Just being part of that team is awesome, man. That's kind of a once-in-a-lifetime deal for me so far.
Yeah, the playoffs were a big disappointment for us in 2024. We entered thinking that we were going to be really strong, and we just never really got through the first round with any speed, and had a little bit of bad luck and not the best of execution. And amongst those 3, we got eliminated early, and it was probably a catalyst for us for a number of changes that we're instilling for 2025. Adding a 3rd team is the biggest change for RFK. Bringing in more talent with Ryan Preece, new crew chiefs, and race engineers is really an exciting time. Bringing in talent outside of the 60 team with new engineering manager, a new performance manager, to try to tune us up and make us more streamlined in this organization. And ultimately, to get that race-winning speed we need to win a championship. Well, when I look at Ryan Preece, I see a lot of Chris Buescher in him. A guy that I don't think has been in the best situations throughout his career, and I'm committed to putting him in situations where he can win and he can prove how talented he is. No doubt the NASCAR season is a grind, and for me, going into my 16th full-time season in NASCAR Cup Series, I can tell you it's not getting any easier. It's harder every year. The competition continues to ramp up, and you have to continue to adapt to new tactics and new techniques, new rules. And 2025, I'm sure will have its own unique set of challenges. I've worked really hard to be in the best physical and mental shape I can be in, and I'm going to continue to do so. The off-season in NASCAR is unique in the sense that it's only a few months long. What I'm looking forward to most is probably going skiing with my daughter Scarlett. She loves winter sports, and I love going fast down the hills, so that's probably the most rewarding thing for me during the off-season. Personal goals or milestones, I just want to win races. Winning races is what fuels me. You want to be competitive, and nobody can argue you're not competitive when you're winning. The race win that I'm really hungry for is the Daytona 500. I feel like I've knocked on the door of winning that race, half a dozen times. It hasn't come open for a number of reasons. Hopefully 2025 is the year it does.